Best of the weekend, worst of the weekend, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Got to give the Aggies props. They did go on the road and win a huge game at Notre Dame. That's just, segment of who saw that coming. Last year they played a 23-13 rock fight down in College Station, and they go up to South Bend and they put 81 points on the board and 900 yards of offense. I thought it would be a little higher scoring, but didn't see that coming.
You didn't see 81 points, no?
And Colin Klein's offense, Marcel Reed, big play after big play,
360 yards for him.
They were really, really good. And, that's a win that Mike Elko really, really needed. Listen to Mike Elko after the game, a signature win for his program and a good win for the SEC in an out-of-conference game.
Coach, you told us a key to victory tonight would be making the key plays down the stretch. Your team executed a phenomenal game-winning drive. What can you say about the effort they put in tonight?
Yeah, unbelievable. Marcel Reed, our two wide receivers, Mario and Casey, just kept making plays. Nate Borgature makes an unbelievable play. We didn't play great, but we made all the plays we needed to make to win the game.
All right, so it did appear for Notre Dame fans out there was an obvious blatant holding call on the game-winning touchdown. The center missed his block and just tackled the defensive tackle who was going to go after Marcel Reed, and they didn't call holding. And he was able to buy time and complete the throw to Nate Borgature for the touchdown. Should have been called, wasn't called. You take it. If you're the Aggies, you hadn't won a game like that in 11 years on the road. Take the win and get the heck out of there.
Yeah, when Tyler Buckner botched that snap there, I went, oh boy, because that's what led to the win here for them to get if you didn't see the game, that's how they won by a point. The botched snap, had to throw the ball for a 2-point conversion at that point, and then he didn't get it. And they kept showing him on the sideline. Every other second, it felt like that kid, Tyler Buckner.
I know, he couldn't
Alabama,
get off the screen.
I remember him. He was there with Nick Saban, and then he transferred to Notre Dame. But, yeah, congrats to the Aggies, honestly. It's a huge win for them and a huge loss for Notre Dame. Even if they run the table, unless that schedule looks better and better as the weeks go on, that's going to be tough for them to get in, even with no conference championship.
Also of the good, great home win for LSU. Great win for Georgia Tech on Saturday, beating Clemson. That was huge in the ACC. But LSU with a big win. South Carolina gets decimated at home by Vanderbilt.
Wow, what a game.
And Georgia, speaking of didn't see that coming. How about Georgia? Gunnar Stockton. I didn't think Kirby Smart's team could give up 40 points. Could give up 40 points, but they got everything they needed from Gunnar Stockton. Yeah. And even Kirby Smart said after the game, probably fortunate to win. They got outplayed by Tennessee, and Tennessee's kicker missed a kick that would have won the game in regulation. Kicked it right, and then went to overtime, and Georgia won that game. But as we said, that's a huge, it's kind of like the Notre Dame thing, or the Texas A&M thing. Just get out of there with a win. And now they get Texas and Ole Miss and Alabama all in Athens.
In between the hedges, yeah.
And Gunnar Stockton's a real good player.
He's a gamer.
We go into these seasons with questions, and Marcel Reed has answered the questions. Vanderbilt's better than we all thought with what they're doing.
They're a real team.
And by the way, both of those teams beat Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's already fired their coach a couple of games into the season, and UCLA has already fired Deshaun Foster. He is out.
Did you know his team is from Los Angeles? He told us that last year.
Yeah,
okay.
well.
I feel bad for that guy,
honestly. They lost
honestly.
in New Mexico. He was put in a tough spot when Chip Kelly walked out.
Very tough spot. Who was the running backs coach.
So good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
Georgia has a quarterback.
They do.
Vanderbilt's a really, really good team. Georgia is Georgia at this point for me they have some issues on their defense. This isn't a Kirby Smart defense. They're beatable, but that Gunnar Stockton can make some plays. I also thought LSU, this second time they played what you would call a heavyweight, right? They held Clemson to 10 points, but now Clemson is 1-2, and they beat Florida and scored 20 points, but their offense wasn't great, but only 10 points allowed, okay? And but you could say, well, Clemson's 1-2, Florida's 1-2. Has LSU beat anybody good yet is going to become the question. I think they have.
Yeah.
But is this necessary? Listen to Brian Kelly. This guy's losing his mind.
Please play this, yeah.
So, basic question after the game for Brian Kelly. Hey, man, 20-10, great win, but defense, your offense, what's up with Garrett Nussmeier? Listen.
Brian in the back. I know you love these immediate post-game sessions, but what are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. What do you want me to tell you? I just laid it out for you. We played the game to win the game. We played the game to win the game.
All right. How about third down then? What is going on with third down?
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game. Won the game.
All right, so there you go. We
You're
won the game.
spoiled, and you're spoiled. You cut that out at the end. He told him he was spoiled.
Yeah, you're spoiled.
Asking you what happened on third down.
And I can see his frustration, but at the same time, it's just a question, man.
You just relax.
Just relax.
Just relax. Just
simmer down,
It's
Bubba.
okay.
Simmer down.
You're down south in Louisiana.
Come
just
on.
chill out.
Not sure what's going on there.
Golly.
But speaking of post-game celebrations and happy locker rooms, how about the Dallas Cowboys? Can I play this for you?
Oh, man. Shoddy getting his first win.
First win. But listen to what. So here's Brian Schottenheimer. First is Dak Prescott giving a game ball to the head coach because the Cowboys won because they've got the best kicker in the world, Brandon Aubrey. That guy is some kind of weapon on top of what Dak Prescott and company did. But here's what it sounded like in the Cowboys' victorious locker room here in our A block.
Yeah, very special, man. For you, first game ball, first win. Hell of a coach. We appreciate it.
We celebrate cool when we win. Turpin Dak got a touchdown. Yeah. Javante had a touchdown. Yeah. Miles Sanders had a touchdown. Yeah. Woo, Pick and Dak got a touchdown. Yeah. Wait for it. Interception. Dallas had a touchdown. Hey, we ain't done. Who had a sack? James Houston had a sack. Yeah. Kenny Clark had a sack. Yeah. Hey, and this son of a gun, man. This field goal kicker, I tell you what. Hey, 51-yard field goal. Yeah. 44-yard field goal. Yeah. 64-yard field goal. Yeah. Wait, in overtime, with the walk-off. 46 yards.
How about that, Cowboys? That's pretty cool. Obviously, they like their coach, Brian.
Well, he's a little different than Mike McCarthy. I don't know if Mike McCarthy's ever been that excited.
Funny part of that video, if you see it, that's all the audio there. But Jerry Jones is standing right in the middle of that, and he is grinning from ear to ear. And then he went and signed Jadeveon Clowney because they
needed it.
They need some defense.
They need some corner help, too.
Yeah,
Good God.
They found a way to beat what we think is a pretty bad team with the New York Giants. But Russell Wilson looked awful in week 1 against Washington, looked great against the Cowboys yesterday. And that was from, if the Giants could have got it out of their own way and stopped committing penalties, they would have won that game, I think, pretty easily.
Yes.
But their own penalties, I think they had like 10 in the first half, for crying out loud, the New York Giants. But Cowboys get a win. You don't apologize for wins in the National Football League or in the SEC and college football, in my mind. If you win the game, you win the game.
I put them in my parlay yesterday. Did a little Sunday starter kit parlay, as you call me, the degenerate gambler. That one was sweaty, but we got it done. I did Moneyline Cowboys. Thank you, Brandon Aubrey. You saved my pockets.
Hey, how about Dak Prescott in the fourth quarter and overtime against the Giants? 15 of 20, 187 total yards. He had a touchdown, a passer rating of 116.9. He did have a bad pick to start the second half, but Dak, when they needed him, was really, really good. Part of the good, bad, and ugly from the NFL weekend, where there are 8 teams that are off to 2-0 starts, and the Kansas City Chiefs are 0-2 for the first time since 2014.
Well, they got to play the Giants next, so maybe
they'll be 1-2. Well, maybe
Russell
Russell Wilson has found it, man. He has found it. But go ahead.
Saturday, I was just going to say Saturday, the slate. I know you watch all these games as you do, and then when you're not doing the Texas Watch Along, and that night slate was. I was changing the channel. I had the quad box going every 5 minutes. There was so many good games happening.
Yeah, Notre Dame A&M was a thriller. The Florida LSU game was a lot of fun as well. It was a real good, primetime slate, no question about it. Georgia Tech was the highlight in the early window. The Georgia-Tennessee game was the best game of the 2:30
unbelievable
window.
Game there in Knoxville.
And I was watching that right here in the studio. I was doing the On Texas Football Watch Along. But during the On Texas Football Watch Along, that was tough. That was probably the worst half of football I've seen a Texas football team play.
That's saying a lot.
You got to go way back.
Right,
y'all.
that's saying a lot.
There were, and I not for PTSD for Longhorn fans, but there were shades of a Garrett Gilbert season in 2010. There was, but it also reminded me of Vince Young in 2003 when he was a first-year starting quarterback, and people were calling for Chance Mock to be the quarterback and Vince Young to move to wide receiver. There was some early Quinn Ewers struggles. Sark said it reminded him, and we'll let you hear him coming up of a game that he was a part of here at Texas, and we'll let him explain that to you. But at the end of the day, the concern is Arch Manning, who started 4 for his first 5 and then missed 10 consecutive passes, and they weren't close. There were fastballs that were high and outside. There were wide open receivers that were just basically missed with high school level throws. All you have to do is put it on them, and it's a touchdown to Ryan Wingo or to Parker Livingston or to any number of these throws. And it felt to me, Noah, like it was a mental thing. Like it's pressing, and he's not sure why he's doing it, but he's doing it. And I don't know how he gets out of that. It was because, again, let me give you the good, bad, and ugly numbers for Arch Manning. I know the final numbers of 11 for 25 look horrible, but Arch Manning in 3 quarters of football was a pretty good quarterback. If you take the first quarter, the third and fourth quarter when Sark took the air out of the ball and just let him run and only threw 8 passes, he had a passer rating of over like 110. He was 69% completions, but the second quarter was miserable. And he, as they said in the great movie Bull Durham, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
No.
And I don't know what you do with that. You can't win SEC games with that type of play. I don't think anybody would doubt it. And I told this story earlier, but I'll tell it now because you're here. A good buddy of mine who I went to college with. He was your boss with the Tulsa Drillers, right?
Jason George? Yeah, of course.
I did not call him. He's a great guy.
He was.
Great guy. I'm sure a great boss.
Awesome
and
guy.
He was my roommate
Gave me my
college.
first job out of college.
Yeah, and he's a great guy, one of the best people. And lived with him. And he was a baseball player at St. Ed's. He was a really good player. He's one of the better players on the team, catcher. And there was a season, I'm trying to remember what year it was 93 or 4, where a lot of expectations on the team. They had a chance to be pretty good. And my buddy could not throw the ball from catcher back to pitcher. He could not throw the ball. He could make throws down to second base. He could hit. But literally once the game would start, all week long, completely fine. Game starts, the pitcher became like a hockey goalie trying to catch the ball on its way back to him. And that's okay, I guess, when you're warming up. But when the game starts, you can't have that because the ball's sailing over the pitcher's head. There's base runners. It's not good. And he's one of my really, really good friends, and I just watched him try to deal with that. And the coach had to take him out. Like literally had to pull him out and let him DH and couldn't let him catch. And it was anguish for him. It really, really was. And all you could do is just sit and try to chat with him and talk to him and, put less. I don't know. But it clearly was this is some of the things I'm worried about with Arch Manning, because if you had only seen Arch Manning this year, you would say, well, he's not a very good quarterback. But I watched him play 2.5 games last year. And this is not the player we saw.
Right.
It's not. Not close. I mean, I know he wasn't perfect in 2.5 games last year, but in these games, something is it the pressure? Is it mounting on him? Is he putting, because the other part for Sark that I think is really, really difficult, I think is jarring for this whole team and the whole program, just like my buddy, just like your former boss, this isn't happening during the week.
Yeah, that's the thing. I heard you guys saying that in the first hour. This can't be happening during the week, or he wouldn't be the quarterback. I don't care how much they're paying.
And we
him.
certainly would have heard it.
Right.
I mean, we have insiders that go to these practices and watch practices. If it was this bad,
they would have been like, "Hey, we've gotten word of this."
And let me play you this again. Ethan Burke is the Longhorn defensive end and teammate, and this is what reminds me of kind of like my situation where you're just trying to help your buddy out. And but listen to Ethan Burke. He said it pretty clearly. This is not. We see this guy all week long.
Yeah.
I've had real battles with all of these guys every week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they are so real and great football players. The tackles to the guards, we go at it all the time, and the offense performs all the time. So I know they're going to be fine, and there was some good plays. I think just being more consistent, and we'll be all good. I'm not too worried about it.
All right. So again, and he's saying the whole team, and yes, the offensive line struggled at times in short yardage. That still is a work in progress. And Sark's play calling can be questioned. But as I said earlier, you call plays when you're getting one quarterback all week long, and then you get into the game and it's a different guy. And the plays that he did call that were missed were really good plays. I mean, this should have been a 24-0 game, maybe 31-0 by halftime. Instead, it was 14-0 because Arch missed 11 straight passes.
Yeah, 11 straight passes.
And you could just feel it. It was like me watching Jason try to throw the ball back to the pitcher. It's like, God dang, every time it's skipping to the pitcher. Right. It's going over his head. He's running. The pitcher would back up off the mound just to be ready for it. That's tough, man. That really, and I hope that that's just early struggles. And it's like Vince Young early in his sophomore season when he's learning to be a quarterback, and Quinn Ewers' early struggles, and because the mental thing's a real deal.
Absolutely. In between, 6 inches in between is like you said, so big here. And if he was doing this in practice, we would be hearing about it. That's the issue. Maybe he needed to get booed because he hurt his boos, and we've heard Sark talk about that. Hey, sometimes you got to be booed as a quarterback to make your way here. But there's not a lot of time, and not to be that guy, but when you get into this SEC play, when you're down in even Starkville, Mississippi, it's a lot different than we're playing El Paso at home. It just is. They got to go play on the road against Florida. Like these teams, even though, they're 1-2, Florida right now, there's a lot more talent. And Scotty Walden's team, they're not an awful team out there in Conference USA or whatever they're in, but it's different leagues.
No.
You have to play better. The defense has been great. That's the good thing about this is the defense continues to play great football. But what we're seeing here is
the defense
something clearly mental. I mean, that is not a physical thing. That is a mental thing.
And that's why people are saying, is he hurt? And the sidearm throws come. But at the same time, that's okay. Okay, if he's hurt, that explains a lot. But at the same time,
is Sark just lying to everybody though, and lying to himself?
Correct.
That's the issue.
There's no part of me that thinks he'd be out there if he had something going on with his arm. And I don't think the Mannings would let him be out there if there was something going on medically with him. And I think the Mannings can all see it. That was the first game that his grandfather attended. Archie was there, and I don't know if that's a new level of. But again, we watched this kid play. He's a good player. I know. Was the hype overstated during the offseason? Yes, of course.
But at the same time, it just does.
But I seen the kid play.
Right.
We watched him play last year. He's a good player. This is a kid.
When everyone was calling for him to be the starter.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers.
This is a kid who is really, really into his own head, and the question is, can he get out of it?